Hi, I'm Angela Ruth Strong, and I've been sharing weekly from the exercises in my unedited writing year. This week, the exercise was to sit quietly for 5 minutes and just think, and then write about what you think. So, as I sat there, actually laid on the ground with music, but as I did that for 5 minutes, I thought about racism. And I know that's been a very controversial topic lately. The reason I was thinking about it this week is two reasons. The first one is because I went to a funeral for a coworker named Russ, and this past week he was shot and killed by an off-duty police officer. He was camping up in the mountains by himself, and there was a party up there of 16 to 18 people. When he approached them, there was some kind of scuffle, and he ended up getting shot 5 times. Knowing Russ, as we all do, we would consider him kind and gentle. We don't believe the accusation that he fired first or that he was killed in self-defense. We think there is something else going on, and there is an investigation going on right now. So with the issue with police brutality, that was on my mind. And then also something else happened this week where there was a billboard posted in Boise that had a burning cop car on it. It was taken down a day or two later with apologies from the billboard company. And it was heartbreaking for me because it divides our community more. I do want justice for Russ. I want the cop who made the mistake someone to go after him. And there is a Black Lives Matter march tonight in honor of Russ, which I really appreciate because he's not Black, and I appreciate that they're uniting for all lives and against police brutality and for justice. But I'm not going to be going to that because there is a percentage of them that has taken justice to an extreme, and I believe it fits with what I was told when I was going through my divorce, and I was meeting with a mediator who told me her advice for me was, you can't bully a bully. And I thought, what? You want me to be a bully? That's the answer, for me to bully my ex back? And I wasn't okay with that, and it's bothered me for years. And I actually just went and gave this mediator a negative review because I think that does more harm than good. And I think it comes from fear. Racism comes from fear. And for us to bully each other, that just makes it worse, where we try to out-bully each other. And I believe it's not everyone doing it. It's those giving us a bad name. And that's why I'm wearing my Harley hat today. I wanted to talk about how bikers get a bad name. And we have a term for those who give us a bad name. They're the 1%ers. We call them the 1% clubs who commit crimes and hurt other people. And because of that, a lot of bikers have this image that's negative. And I believe that's what we're facing right now with racism. I believe a lot of fear comes from the unknown, and my own experience and my husband's experience with racism is very different. I went to a middle school in Kansas where the Crips and the Bloods did show up on the last day of school, and they had to bust us out early. And that was scary, so I could take on that fear, and racism could come from that. My husband, while I was in Kansas, he was in Hawaii, and there was racism there against white people. He was called a Halle boy and got into a lot of fights because he had to defend himself and his race. And so fear could come from that as well. The opposite of fear is love. And so how can we choose to love each other? I can think of 3 ways. And the first way is to find out about the unknown. Because a lot of that fear comes from the unknown. Let's find out about each other's beliefs and heritage and culture and put ourselves in each other's shoes. I do that. I'm in a Facebook group where I am, I think, the only white person there. And they discuss issues that African Americans are dealing with. And I ask questions because a lot of the things I never thought of before. And that's probably where the term white privilege fits me, is because I've never had to experience some of the things they've been through. And so I want to understand. I want to ask questions. Another way that we can learn to love is through respect, respecting each other's opinions. Even if we don't agree, we can still respect each other. When I had an African American character in my book, A Cup of Trouble, I had my friend Tony Shiloh read it for sensitivity issues, things that I might not have known were offensive, because I do need to learn and I want to be respectful of how she might take it, or her race might take it. And one thing she did say to me, and it came from my own ignorance, is I had a cop call the black guy's son, which I believed the cop would have said to anyone, but for her that was offensive, and that was a new perspective for me. So out of respect, I took that out. I didn't want to do anything that would hurt anybody, and I'm still learning. There might be some things that I say here that I still need to learn about and I don't understand. And that's why I'm sharing, and that's why I'm asking questions. The third way we can love each other is to act. And right now, the race war just seems out of control. It seems like there's nothing I can do. But I heard a quote the other day that said, "What you want to do for the world, do for one person." And I think if we each did that, it would be a different world. We could all make a difference. We all have that power to touch one life. So that's what I want to encourage us to do, including me. And I want to end with just a thought about racism, and that is, though racism may be taught, fear is natural. And so let's do the work to love each other.